These are the 10 differences in treatment based on your physique from fat, normal, and jacked. Now, big disclaimer, we are assuming in this video that the face, the height, the charisma, personality is the exact same, and we're basically going to be judging how they'll be treated if that person was fat, normal, or jacked. Now, by jacked, we don't mean bodybuilder, steroid big. We're talking the maximum appeal physique, the physique we talk about in every video, which is the AAA physique. Also, this is not like two gym bros sitting up here just trying to glaze themselves or sitting up on our high horse saying, you know, we get treated the best or whatever. We've been each category. I've been skinny fat, I've been normal, and I've been jacked. I've seen the treatment from each category. And the difference in treatment, whether you want to cope or not, is pretty big. And we're going to go into that starting at number 1. You will get 0 matches on dating apps. And if you do, they're only from 3s. Normal guys will see 1 match a day from 3s and maybe 5s. And guys with an elite physique will get 99 plus in a week and will have the pick from the best. Now, this is massively dependent on the photos that you use. Gym bros that sit in the mirror like, won't see any results whatsoever. That will literally scare them away and will tank any results. If you get a good, nice appeal, greatly selected photo for the female gaze, you can see results that you never thought were possible. If you do want to know how to do this, by the way, this literally isn't a plug, I'm just telling you because it's valuable information. The full guide on how to build the maximum appeal physique and present it, take photos, and leverage a good physique, that's inside the school. A lot of you boys are already in there, so you can check it out. It's the new module, the AAA full guides. You're not in there, I don't know what the fuck you're doing at this point. And that'll be the first link in the description. Overweight guys will have people avoiding the subject altogether about their weight. People won't even mention it to them because they'd assume that you're pretty insecure about it, and at least they're trying to be nice. Normal guys will hear things like, you're fine the way you are. This is pretty similar to, the big ones hurt, baby, don't worry. And then when you're jacked, they say things like, you must live in the gym, you know, is this all you do? Because they assume getting jacked, building a good physique is way harder than it really is, when if you've got a good physique, you know it only really takes an hour every other day. It's not that hard. And fat guys just simply aren't in the dating pool. They don't really date. They kind of just get what comes to them. They don't mind as long as they're getting something, but point is they don't date. And then the normal guy will date 3s and 4s and he'll look for commitment. So yeah, these guys look and seek out a girlfriend, a long-term partner, rather than really vetting these chicks and really getting to know them before they make any commitment. And the thought of commitment doesn't even scare these guys. And then the guy with the good physique just dates casually. He avoids commitment. He's just kind of going with the flow. He's just kind of in it for the fun. He's building up a roster. He's having his fun, man. I'm not even saying this is what you should do. We're not saying you should like sleep around, you know, be a man slut. I'd probably avoid it, to be honest, because it's kind of distracting, but that's just how it is. Attractive, in shape guys have options, and as a byproduct of that, they like having their fun, and who's to blame them when chicks do the same thing? Fat guys and normal guys will also sit up on their high horse and say, I'm loyal. But these guys have to be loyal. These guys don't need to be loyal because they have abundance. Yeah. And I always test guys with this. I fact check them all the time when they say they're the most loyal dude on earth. And you're gonna tell me when a 10 out of 10 blonde comes up to these guys and offers them a free blowjob, you think they're gonna decline that because they love their wife too much. It is not happening in a million years. These are the same guys that sit there and fap their dick to porn, that go to brothels, that go to strip clubs and then call themselves loyal. No. You just have no options, man. When making jokes, they are always offensive for fat guys. You can so easily trigger people, especially women get triggered very easily. And if they don't like the look of you, they are way more likely to take offense to your joke or look for a reason to call you out and embarrass you. And there'll be a common theme here, and it's basically the phalo and halo effect. When you are unattractive and out of shape and just, you have no appeal, a lot of the things you do will be seen as worse than they really are. And this is why, as a byproduct of that, these guys aren't confident, they don't have social skills, they're not like extroverts. It's because they're not rewarded for being extroverts. They're constantly put down, they're constantly shamed for the things they say and the things they believe in. And once again, I'm gonna preface this, the last time I'm gonna say it, we are not coming from a place of superiority or anything. I've been treated like this. I know what this feels like. Don't get angry at us for the way the world is. This is just how it is, and this is just what happens. And guys in each category can vouch for that. And for normal guys, people just have low toleration, not even for jokes and being offended by them, but even just for bullshit, like in your job, like being late, or yeah, just like not being the best man you can be. People will generally expect a lot more from normal to average guys. And then the jacked guy is always funny and charming. You know, when you're a really attractive guy, you can get away with so much that some people just wouldn't believe, and you can even test the waters. And I've done this on dates that I've noticed with women that have high attraction and high interest in me. You can literally say whatever. If you look at like someone, let's say HS Tiki Toki and Ed Matthews, I think there was a clip of HS Tiki Toki, I think he said, can I shit in your mouth? And it worked. Like these guys, bro, game is bullshit if you look insane. If you have high appeal, man, you can say whatever and it will be funny.
Hey, give me your Instagram for when you got time, and I will shit in your mouth. No, I'm serious though. We're gonna start with a bit of shit, and then I'll fuck you after. Go on, stick it in.
You can really test the waters with this. The out of shape guys have to ask for intimacy. Okay, this is down bad. I mean, even at my lowest, when I did look like shit, I never once had to ask for it. That is down bad, but I know this happens and I hear stories, and that is just sad. That is when you know you need to cut it off, man, or improve or do something. Yeah. Boys, if you ever catch yourself asking for intimacy, ask yourself what you're doing, man. Like when you get to the stage whether you have to ask for really anything, and I'm really talking anything, you should leave. Whether you're asking for loyalty, intimacy, for her to do things for you. And I'm not talking for your own benefit, like you're going to tell her to do something because it's funny or like because you actually need something, like go grab this tool or something. I'm talking out of desperation, like you're asking for sex. Like what are you doing, man? The normal guy has to escalate or perform theatrics or play games just to move things forward when dating or in a relationship, which is funny because in shape guys who have dialed in their physique get escalated on, and that's because you've built a physique that matches her fantasies. I say this in almost every video, but women are visual creatures. They like to imagine things. Almost every guy in the books she reads are tall and in shape. Personally, from my own experience, when ascending my physique and just becoming more attractive all around, it did go from having to always make a move, getting anxious about when I should ramp things up, will she be okay with it? It's actually easier because they'll just make the first move. And it's funny because you can kind of play a game at this point as like, when will they make the first move? And you don't really care because you know what's gonna happen. You're almost certain it's gonna happen and it always does. And also by you not making any moves or trying to make any moves because she knows you want to fuck, like she just knows you want to. And then when you don't, it just breeds this attraction because she's not used to it, and it just shows that you don't really give a fuck, to be honest, whether you get laid or not. Fat and out of shape guys will experience microbullying. It almost happens naturally or subconsciously, and I think it is some sort of primal evolutionary thing. Fat guys will just kind of be like the butt of the joke, and I mean it is kind of from good heart. I mean it is for their own benefit. For me personally, the microbullying I received when I was skinny fat was the thing that pushed me over the edge to actually transform my physique. I think without that I never would have made the move. And normies or normal people will just receive constant tests from society, from the world, from women, from men, and this does get really irritating. You're constantly just having to put up a fight against just bullshit. Like let's say you're out at a bar or you're out in public, dudes will just be more aggressive towards you if they can be. They'll pick fights with you if they can or if they want to. But if you're in shape and you're jacked, they'll assume competence, meaning they don't really want to know. They don't want to know what you're capable of. And this sounds stupid, but it's really true. When you're in shape, they could assume you're a fighter. And even like at work, I remember when I was a bricklayer, it's always like, oh, you right with that, mate? Can you carry that? Are you all good? Guys that are bigger in general tend to just like, people assume that you're able to handle it. Out of shape guys get constantly ghosted. This was a miraculous thing that I noticed. I used to always have to chase for someone's attention or double text. This is when guys start to really get desperate, and it's quite brutal. And although women will straight up ghost you with no remorse, at least normal guys get some sort of excuse like, sorry, I've been busy or been away from my phone all day. No one's away from their phone all day. And then the jacked, attractive guy gets double text, gets these long-winded, sort of passionate texts. This is the game changer. And a lot of guys right now are gonna use the excuse, well, I've got a girlfriend, so this doesn't matter. But it's not about you having a girlfriend or commitment from these women. It's about the interest. It's about the amount of freedom that you have in life in general and the options that you've got. Yeah, a lot of guys just think in binary. It's like, I have a girl or I don't. But you can have a girlfriend and get treated like shit, and you might think that that's the norm. There's a massive discrepancy in how you get treated in that relationship. It is very possible to just naturally, by default, get king treatment because of the way you look and the competency that you display. And you will get imposter syndrome when you build yourself a good physique and become more attractive, just become like a higher value kind of guy because you're not used to that treatment. You're like, what is the catch though? Like, why is she treating me like this? If the fat guy even gets to talk to the girl and he doesn't text her after the date, he will never hear from her again. Out of shape guys here, let's just be friends. Jacked guys don't get friend zoned. They just don't. I mean, okay, maybe if you're like really behaving like a simp or you're just super blue pilled or something, it is possible. But I think if you're just like a natural guy with like decent social skills and you're kind of neurotypical, you pretty much can't be friend zoned. And like there might be a lot of doubts about this, like, yeah, bullshit, the jacked guys get treated like this. I'm not talking about bodybuilders. I'm talking about guys that really fulfill that fantasy. So like the aesthetic is on point. The fashion matches the physique. Obviously the face card's on point. They're lean, they're aesthetic. They're not gym cells. They've just got the actual maximum appeal physique. And the reason this stuff happens isn't really conscious. It's like primal attraction that can't be replicated with money or status or the hairstyle you have. It's that raw, deep, primal attraction. Normal guys will get past the friend zone, but the women will set boundaries. You've probably heard the saying, girls make rules for betas and break rules for chads, and it couldn't be more true. And then for this guy, she says, like, I never do this, but for you. Like, you have to remember with these guys, if she is setting boundaries with you and she's not doing something with you, whatever you're asking her, if she says, no, I don't do that, she doesn't do that for you. Trust me. Fat guys will always be the butt of the joke. And I mean, this is so commonly known that even Hollywood emphasizes this in almost every movie. It's like the classic stereotype. The fat kid just gets picked on, and people think it's just in the movies, but no, it happens every single day. And I remember I was actually in this situation when I was just really just out of shape, skinny fat. And then when you're not completely out of shape, you upgrade to a jester and you start being the one making the jokes to compensate. These guys will pick on these guys and these guys will pick on these guys. It's just how it is. And then the guy that's truly jacked and attractive just gets glazed on a daily basis. Once again, if you haven't been truly impressive, you wouldn't really have experienced this, or you wouldn't even believe that it happens, but it does. And I just want to make something clear as well. All this stuff isn't going to be really that evident until you really pay close attention. Like, for instance, the bullying thing, okay? You're not going to really see it because we've got societal norms, we've got these societal pressures to treat everyone equally. It's how it works here, right? But that's the big danger. Because it's not so prevalent anymore, people get comfortable in this zone. If people were to really bully the fuck out of these guys, they would start to make progress and get out of it. People create their own prison and then fucking live in. And it's easy to live in when there's not major consequences. The fat guy gets called lazy, and this is just a reflection of what he looks like. I mean, if you look like that, you probably are lazy, and that's exactly what everyone else is assuming subconsciously. The normal guys will get called disciplined, like when they're in the gym, because from the outside perspective, it's like, this guy's working so hard and he's not seeing any results. Poor fella, he must be disciplined. But the jacked guy is just called lucky because he was disciplined and it actually worked out. And no one saw that work, and now they're calling him lucky because they think they could never achieve that. And the thing is, it really doesn't contain that much discipline to get to this point. It just takes enough to push you over the edge and for you to actually make that transformation. But the tricky part is, what I was explaining before, is these guys here think that the way they get treated by society is by every other factor but just not looking better. And I have to be the guy that stands here and says it's just not true. By looking better, everything in your life will transform. And that's the ugly truth that people don't want to say because it doesn't sound nice, it doesn't sound inspirational, but that's the fucking truth of it because I have lived it. And we know the worst thing you can do when you're in this position is to adopt a victim mindset. And I don't think it's your fault for having that mindset either. I think it's drilled into your head as young. I remember I always just constantly heard things or had the impression that bullying victims is just random. It's just randomly you are selected as a bully victim. There is reasons as to the way you get treated in society. It is a brutal world. And the quicker that you accept that, the better off you're going to be because you can actually start to make a transformation. And if you do want the simplest path from fat to jacked, go to that first link in the description. It has all the fitness and diet plans in there, along with the full max appeal protocol, exactly what to do to build one of these physiques. It's less than Netflix. I wanted to make this accessible to everyone because I believe everyone should have access to this information. And not only that, you've got direct access to us. You can literally message us anytime. We don't really reply to comments. It just takes too much time. We've got enough on our plate. But we reply to the guys in the Spartan Society. Once again, I hope this didn't offend you. Don't hate the players, hate the game. That's just how it is. That's how society is. You can either be the victim of it or you can be the one leveraging it. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content talking about the real world effects, subscribe to the channel. This is our life's work, honestly. We put everything into this channel, into our coaching, and I really appreciate the support recently. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.